My name's Helen, I'm the Diddy Stitcher, my pronouns are she, her. This is my Flosstube channel all about cross stitch. Welcome back if you're coming back, welcome. If you're new, it's so good to have you. It's been a while, 3 and a bit weeks, I think. Bit longer than I would have hoped, but if you've been here before, you know that I was moving crafty, officey rooms. This used to be my daughter's nursery. She's moved into her big girl room with her big girl bed. So my work from home office and cross stitch stuff is all in here now, and it's still a mess. I didn't film on my usual 2-week rotation because everything was a mess. Now kind of only half of it's a mess, but I wanted to film because I missed you guys. I kind of needed to scratch the itch, so I apologise if it's all over the place. I'm still getting used to this setup. I managed to put up some of my pieces and some fairy lights this morning, just to make it feel a bit more like it used to. But yeah, everything is all over the place. I used to film sitting on the spare bed, so I would have everything like all nicely laid out. Now I just have the top of my Bisley here that's piled with stuff. I'm going to have to pause at some point to grab my haul, which is over there. And yeah, I don't know how the lighting's going to go. It seems to look okay at the minute. It is blue sky today, which is the first time I've seen the sun in probably 2 weeks. I hate... Is it daylight savings? Have we come out of daylight savings? Have we gone into it? I hate the clocks changing. It makes everything really dark, and it's November in England, so it's grey all the time. So it's nice to see some sun, so I think that will help with the lighting. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I pulled a tarot card. I haven't pulled a tarot card in 3 and a bit weeks. More than 3 and a bit weeks. I don't think I did it last time because I was feeling a bit meh about the whole thing. So I'm hoping now that I'm in this new kind of system, I can work in a daily tarot just for myself. But I did pull today, and I pulled the 5 of Cups. Which is all about loss, grief, disappointment, sadness, mourning, discontent, feeling let down. I mean, it's a pretty sorrowful scene there. And I think it does kind of reflect how I'm feeling. I feel like I don't think I lost my stitchy bug completely, but with the move, and like I don't have a stitching space in this room now, I'm feeling a little discombobulated, and I'm missing that. I'm mourning that, if you like. But I'm trying to channel that into tidying up, and it's hard because I need like a new desk because the desk that I have doesn't really fit in the space that I have. But I have to wait for some money to do that. So then I feel like I can't decide where things go until I get the desk, and you know, there's a process going on. But this is how I'm feeling. So I'm hoping doing this Flosstube will kind of give me the kickstart that I need to get back into it. So on that, I'll tell you about my stitching that I've done over the last 3 weeks. I feel like I haven't stitched much, but my notes tell me otherwise, so we'll just go with it. I had 2 FFOs. Well, I finished and FFO'd this one. So this is Our Hearts by Brenda Gervais. Is it With Thy Needle? I can't remember. This is the pattern that I won from Julia Julicious's auction for Housing Works, and the pattern and this fabric, this Mesa 36 count, 32 count from Picture This Plus. So I wanted it done in celebration of that. But this is what it looked, this is what the model looks like. And obviously I've took a lot out of it, but I wanted it to fit in this frame. I had this frame, and I really like it. And I thought something like this would look good. So I kind of took this bit and left off these extra leaves to like kind of match the arch. And then I just liked all these bands here. I sort of recharted the words just to squish everything together and make it more there was a lot of things in that chart that didn't really make sense to me. I was changing it a lot anyway, but yeah. So this was just 4 colours, just from Stash. I can't remember what they were. And so this will be for Alex. I'm going to wrap it up for Christmas. I don't know if you've seen it lying around. I don't know if he watches these anymore. But yeah, I'll wrap it up and it'll be for Christmas. Because the other thing about me moving, oh, I have to bend down to put the thing down. I had a lot of stuff on the wall in the other room that I've taken off, and I'm like, I've got wall space in here to put things back up, but actually there was a lot of stuff that I really like that people don't see if they come and visit. So there's a bunch of stuff downstairs to hang up now. So that'll be one of them that'll go and hang in the rest of the house. And we'll spread the Stitchy joy around the house. I do have stuff like, I'm trying to think. I have a little dough ball on the sideboard and with some pillows. Got my big full coverage jizz on the stairs, so that a lot of people see that. Both of those. My Treenway silks, X Stitch the Rainbow. I did 3 of them, and they're in the living room on the wall. But I think that's about it. A lot of the stitching is in here, and it's like stuff like this. It's like, maybe you don't want to hang that in the dining room, but maybe I should. Maybe when Anna's older. So yeah, getting more stuff hung up around the house. And speaking of, I had another FFO. I wasn't going to FFO this right away, or like soon. I was going to wait until my other Ink Circles Round Robin came, but I had to order some mats for some of my stitching that my mum wanted to hang up at her house. And I had self-cut mats like, what, 20 years ago? And I look at them now and I'm like, oh, that needs sorting. So I ordered custom mats for those from E-Frame, easy custom framing place. And I thought I would order 2 frames that are the same for my 2 Ink Circles Round Robin pieces. So this was my first Ink Circles Round Robin that I did last year. This is after the roses. So I've shown you this before, but this is all it framed, and it came with the Perspexy glass instead of real glass, and I wasn't really bothered because I was going to take the glass out anyway. I really like the size of it, how it's like got this space. I really like it, so I'm really excited for this to hang up in the living room because it's really nice colours. And then I did, what's my other one? My one that's out in the world at the minute is Forest Flower, that I converted to similar colours to this, and it's just a little bit smaller, so I got a little bit of a smaller frame. I hope it fits when it does come here. Get back to me. so they can sit as kind of a set with some of my other pieces. But yeah, this is one of my neater finishes. I wrapped it round the perspex and masking taped it in, and the back managed to fit on without anything popping out. So it looks semi-professional. I think this is a line in the fabric rather than a something that I should have ironed. But I don't really mind. Just whack it in a frame, whack it on the wall. Pretty happy with that. Really happy. I love this piece so much. So pretty. And I'm so glad I only had to do one section of it. All my friends did my other ones. So yeah. Happy with that. FFO. Oh, I'm knocking things over because everything is a lot closer than it usually is. So then on to what I've been stitching. I had 2 starts. So, oh, I left one over there. I'm gonna pause because I'm probably gonna hit something on my way up. Okie dokie. So, I finished. If you're new here, I'm doing Quirky Quaker's EPP quilt thing. It was going to be my whole whip go this year. Whip go fell off the wagon very, very early for me. I've decided I don't do well with those kind of plans, so we're not going to make plans like that for 2025. I'll talk about that at the end of the year, probably, when I do my whip parade and plans. But I did manage to finish Quirky Quaker Crab and done my first kind of hexie with things sewn around it. So I need to carry on that, and I need to do my next Quirky Quaker. So I started Quirky Quaker Mouse. This was an exclusive to the Top Knot Stitcher shop. Top Knot don't ship to the UK, so this was sent on by Megan. Was Megan or Michelle? I think it was Megan, and Michelle has got some other ones for me when she's done. So thank you, friend, whoever you were. But yes, this is my start on Quirky Quaker Mouse. This is on 36 count something. It's a fibre on a whim. I can't remember what it is. With Gloriana Tudor Silks from my friend Stitchy. And yeah, I'm getting better at this tiny stitching, 1/1. But I think that's also another part of my problem is I went to the opticians after my birthday. So the last time I spoke to you, I hadn't been to the optician. So I went to the opticians and my prescription had changed significantly. Like, oh, I was -4 and now I'm a -5 in one eye and a -4 point something in another. It had changed a lot in less than 2 years. So I was really struggling with a lot of things. I was struggling with stitching. I was struggling with the computer, watching TV. I was getting headaches, eye pain. And I hadn't really had that a lot since like my teenage years when my eyes changed a lot. So I was a bit concerned. The optometrist didn't seem concerned. He was like, how old are you? And I was like, it was literally my birthday yesterday. I'm 33. He said, that's normal. You can have a massive myopic shift in your early 30s, so it's probably that, but keep an eye on it. So I got new glasses and new contacts. I wear my contacts pretty much constantly. And that's helped a lot. So I'm very pleased about that. So doing, even though I never remember where I'm short-sighted or long-sighted. I can't see things far away. I can see things close up, but the distance of close up is getting shorter and shorter and shorter. So before it wasn't a problem like to take my glasses off and stitch, but it was getting harder. Now that I've got the correct prescription, this is better. So doing tiny stitching is getting better. So I'm hoping to get back to this and get it finished, because this is quite far on, like compared to how long it took me to do the crab. It took me way too long to do the crab. And hopefully I can have another hexie and then make some more hexies with my quilting fabric. Yep, words. To carry that on, and that'll kind of be, maybe once I've got some more, I'll like kind of hang it up here so it's there. I don't think I'll ever be finished. It'll just be like kind of added to, unless I decide it's like gotten too big, and then I'll finish it as something and then start another one, because Deanna, Darling Mimsy, has so many and she keeps coming out with more and I can't keep up. So I don't think I'll run out anytime soon. But yeah, that was a start on Quaker Mouse. My next start is Coffee Quaker by Heartstring Sampley. I have wanted to do this for ages. For Alex, he drinks coffee, I drink tea. So I'm working on something for a tea thing. This is going to be his coffee thing. I'm going to put them next to our kettle in the kitchen. But Megan, with an H, of Long Distance Stitches, she won this in one of Michelle Bendy Stitchy's auctions. The pattern and the fabric and floss and a very cool project bag and needle minder and the whole shebang. She won the whole thing. I've wanted to do it. My other friend Amy, Pearls and Ponderings, she's wanted to do it. So I kind of organised in the middle a sort of kind of sal, more of a start along than a proper sal, I would think, but it's a start. So this is 32 count cream even weave, just as I got, and I'm doing it 1/1 with not the called for, but just a kind of, I pulled stuff out of my stash that looked coffee-like, and this pattern goes into Pattern Keeper, so this is 177 stitches so far. I've used Gumnut from Cottage Garden Threads for the words and some other things, and another pumpkin seed for the start of that motif. And then I've got Sable by Gast. I have the end of these weeks that I want to get rid of. Caterpillar, this really dark brown, which is lovely, from Classic Colourworks. And a Gloriana. I think this is one that Imogen brought me for my birthday last year. One, it's a lovely silk. Two, it's a lovely colour. Three, it's called Mocha. So I have to put it in the coffee whip. So that's that. Oh, my needle minder as well is the Always Sleepy Club member, which I thought was good. So I started in the middle. It's going to be really tiny because I want it to fit. It's like, I've got that little bit of the wall like under your cupboard. So I don't have a lot of space. It's roughly the same size as the tea thing is going to be. So that's why I put it on a 32/1. But yeah, this is another one. Obviously it's like tiny stitching, small stitching, that I would have struggled with pre-new contacts. And I think I've got a, oh, I can lean back on the wall. That's weird. I've got a mental block there about small stitching, tiny stitching. So when I think about what whip I want to work on next, I think about them and I'm like, oh, it's 1/1. Oh. But yeah. So that was my new starts, and then whips, not in any kind of particular order, just whatever Notion told me. So me and other Megan of Long Distance Stitches had our little, what do we call it, semi-monthly, whenever one of us remembers that it's probably time to get this out. This is Angel of Love by Lavender and Lace. We're both working on this and we have little Zoom calls together. The Zoom that we had recently when we worked on this, I felt quite bad. I felt it was kind of rushed. So we only had like 2 hours or so. And I was a bit frantic because, again, we were kind of in the middle of the move. I had sold Anna's nursery furniture on Facebook, and the woman came and to have a look at it. She was very happy. She gave us the money, but she said, I have to figure out a van. And we were like, of course, that's fine. But all of our stuff was just sat in the living room. So we couldn't really use the living room. Another reason why I couldn't really stitch over the past couple of weeks. So when it came to going on the Zoom, I think I was just a bit tapped out. So I'm sorry, Megan. And then Anna came home and I just had to kind of say, bye, I gotta go. It's not how I like to do my Zooms, but 'twas life. So yes, I worked on this kind of area up here. I think I was only doing DMC. I wasn't doing any cryonic or beading because I was in such a tizzy, if you like. But I did get a lot of progress up here. So I'm very happy with how this is going. This is on 28 count self-dyed even weave with all called for DMC, cryonic and beads. I am working bottom to top. I am kind of like splitting it up in 10 rows of 10. Yeah, rows. Doing the next one up, sort of doing all of the DMC, then stitching the cryonic, then putting the beads in, then moving to the next. Obviously it's not exact because I'm like moving up here just to end the thread. But it's got some movement on it. It's definitely getting there. I love working on it. I love my Zooms that me and Megan have. Megan is coming over this side of the pond in October next year to come to the Sweary Stitches retreat. So she's gonna bring hers very carefully and we can have photos with him. I don't know if how far we'll be by that time. Maybe we'll meet in the middle because Megan's doing hers from the top. So maybe we'll have one full one. But it'll be fun just to see them together. So yeah, Angel of Love is paper pattern. I'm not counting stitches, but I did a bit. Next whip is Gingerbread House by the Nutmeg. Excuse me, I had a Diet Coke. The Nutmeg Company. This is kind of my travel, take Anna to swimming lessons, sitting at my desk, whatever, stitching. It's on 18 count Aida. This is the roof. And it's very repeating pattern. I don't have to think about it much. Yeah. So this is a paper pattern, but I am counting stitches. So I did 628 stitches on this since I last showed you. Yeah, I took this I had to take Anna out for the day because Alex's friend just got a new gaming computer, so they're gaming together now, which is good because because they don't talk a lot. So, you know, if you, it's like me in the Zooms. If you don't organise a Zoom, you never really talk to the people. So I took Anna out so they could have some gaming time, and the only place that I could think to take her was soft play. It was okay. She found some friends to play with, which is good, because sometimes if she's by herself, she'll want you to come play with her. But I had to sit with the bags because it was just me and her. But she did okay, and I managed to get some stitching done on that, so I was happy. I got some funny looks from some people, but I was happy. I was stitching and listening to the Torture Poets department. I was having a whale of a time. So the next thing that I worked on, moon phase. This is, ooh, let me have the fabric. Woo! So this is Moon Phase Belpool by Tiny Modernist. There is a Sal called Aurora Moon Phase Sal, Aurora Belpool Sal, can't remember. Kaylee of the sewingshop.ca, Kaylee Tentstitch on Instagram, dyed this unbelievable fabric for us. Oh, it's just so good. So every full and new moon, I'm trying to do 400 stitches. So that it's a kind of a challenge that works for me in my brain, because there's a reason, because I'm doing it on the full moon, on the new moon. I was late for this one for about a week, so I'll have to work on this again in another week. But yeah, if I do that, I'll be finished by about May next year. So it won't stand still. So this is 40 count. I'm doing it 1/2. Yeah. And this is about halfway, I think. So when I finish it, I don't know if I'm going to frame it or do some kind of finished edge and, you know, like use a pole or something and hang it as a sort of Belpool. But if this is halfway, not there's a whole lot of fabric, but just, I'm going to frame it as wide as I can to get all of this beautiful colour in up here. Because it's on 40 count, it's so small. But yeah, I'm already thinking about finishing it, which is ridiculous because there's a lot left to do. So yeah, there's my little mousse courtesy of Megan. Yeah, I think I took these doodads up. I think they're in the wrong place, but I think it'll be fine. I'll just count off the moons. So yeah, that was 408 stitches. And I'll bring that out in a week or so. I'll just do another 400 stitches. 400 stitches is not that much on this project. It doesn't take me too long, so it doesn't feel like a chore. But you do see some progress. The next thing I worked on, not the next thing I worked on, the next thing I have to show you. So I've not done a lot of stitching, but I've done a lot of catching up on Flosstube. Obviously I was very disappointed about the US election. Not as disappointed as some other people who, you know, it actively affects, it'll affect the rest of the world, but yeah. I had to switch off from the news, from like listening to my regular podcasts. I was just done. So had a good like 2 and a bit weeks of Flosstube that I needed to catch up on, so I spent a good couple of days just catching up with some lovely people, and I was very happy about that. I did watch the Cross Stitch the Globe with Stephanie and Alison, and they had a Mirabilia whip parade and stash parade, and that just lovely to watch. Lovely to see all the fancy ladies. I love them, and I was like, I should, you know, I've done my Angel of Love recently. I've got a few other fancy ladies in the stash, in the whip pile. That's where it's like, it's 2 over 2 on a 28 count, or, you know, something like that. It's not small stitching. It's generally like blocks of colour. It's not too confetti. I don't have to think too much about it. I should get something like that out. Well, my actual stitching time obviously wasn't that long, except for this Saturday just gone. Anna stays at her granddad's on a Friday night, so me and Alex get Saturday pretty much to ourselves for most of the day. I didn't get out of my pajamas all day, and I stitched all day. And the day before I had watched Stephanie's newest Flosstube, and her haul was Mirabilia Mother's Arms, and I was like, that is what I'm going to work on tomorrow. That is what I need to do. So I got out Mother's Arms, and I did so much. I'll show you how it looked before. This is how it is now. So this is Mother's Arms, if you don't know what it looks like. I'm just doing this circle of the kind of face and the mother and the baby. I love the sentiment of that for me and Anna. I don't need to do a massive dress. This is what drew me to the pattern in the first place. I'm just doing that. And I'd seen at a retreat that I went to somebody finish it like this into kind of like an ornament, like something like this. And that's where I got the idea from, just to crop it like that. But then I was at TK Maxx and I found this frame, and I think that works quite nicely. We'll see how it looks once I've finished, whether the colouring works or if it's too green. I need something a bit more blue. But yeah, I worked a lot on it, obviously. I am doing some colour conversions. This Krynic in here, you can't really see. It's supposed to be like leaves. It's supposed to be in this really dark blue. And when I looked at the whole thing, and this kind of drew me to the whole pattern, there's this dark blue in here, the dark blue around the rip trim of her dress, and she has like some kind of headband with like really dark blue, and it just doesn't go with this kind of colour palette for me. Once you step back and you look at the whole thing, there's like more blue down at the bottom of her dress, and it maybe makes sense, but it didn't make sense to me at all. If I was stitching the whole thing, I would still change this blue. So I put in the pink Krynic, and I'm going to change these beads to pink. So there you go. Let's see. Again, you can't really see it, but yeah. I got so much done. This is like 7 hours stitching, and it was just pure bliss. Just pure, like, I just watched Flosstube and I couldn't feel my bum at the end. Should have probably got up and done some gentle movement, but no. This is on 28 count even weave, just white, because it's pretty full coverage. There is like, in the pattern, there's a border that's stitched and it kind of cuts off the top of her head. I need to figure out what to do with that depending on how this goes, whether I need to kind of make up a bit of the top of her head. I'm leaving beading till last, so like some of this, like that's a bead we can see where I had to kind of figure out where to draw the line. And to draw the line, I literally like got a compass and decided where I wanted the focal point to be and drew a circle around it, and then decided which of those stitches on the border I was going to stitch. So it's kind of a hope and pray rather than a scientific method to it. But I think this bead will be too close to the edge to go in a frame. So I will decide what actual beads I put in once it's done. So it might be that the top of her head will get cut off anyway by the frame and it'll be fine. And I'll lose some around here. It'll be fine. I'll just decide that later. But this is where I kind of understood that my Stitchy book hadn't gone. I just needed the right project at the right time. And I need to quit my job so I can stitch for 7 hours a day and that will make me happy. That's all. That's what I figured out. I have been keeping up on my Plants and Petra Coral by Fine Frog Stitching. So we get a new drop every Friday. Fridays are like my least busy work day, so I managed to put these in. Obviously it's been a few weeks since I last saw you, so this has got 1,821 stitches since I last saw you. So this whole thing, I think, and this whole thing. And then on Friday we'll get the last drop, which I think is probably a plant pot with all of these leaves that'll get filled in that's trailing over the window. I'm so excited. I'm excited to get this done because I just love this sal. I'm going to really, really, really try and not to sign up for the next sal, but it's so hard because this came off the back of Femurs and Fungi, the last sal, the Fine Frog Stitching did, and that was beautiful. But I just can't have another sal with like a drop every week because even though I'm still on top of this, it is like a burden. It's not a burden. It's like it's something that I have to do. And maybe I need to step away from that and stitch on things like Mother's Arms that I want to pick up and I've got some real excitement about. So I'll probably look at the sal that comes out. Oh, this is on 20 count even weave forest green by Zweigart. I'm doing it 2/1 with the call for DMC that makes it nice and chunky. So I'll probably see what the sal is. They have hinted that they are doing another one. I'll probably not buy it because if I buy it, I want to start it. And I'll just wait until it comes out as a whole pattern if I want to stitch it. And that'll be that. If someone can hold me accountable to that, that'd be great. Oh, just knocked something. So another piece that I worked on. See, I haven't done a lot of stitching, she says, showing 10 projects. This is Serbian Proverb by La Di Da. This is a project that I'm working on with my friend Trina. I only work on this when I'm on Zoom with Trina. So we do this once a month. And it's so much fun. This is just, we're both doing chaos in like, we're just picking a colour and going with it. I am kind of curating my colour palette somewhat. Trina is a bit more unhinged and I love that. So yeah, this is 40 count Valor by Picture This Plus. Is this one Valor? I think so. And I started with this border. This is a Karen Water Lilies. So it's got purple and green and tealy blue and bits in it, and that's kind of where I've pulled everything from. And then the bottom where it says be humble for you are made of earth, be noble for you are made of stars, I'm kind of going with like a ethereal blue and cream feeling. And then up here with the plant, the flower, I don't even know what it is, I'm going with like the browns and the greens and the purples. So yeah, very happy with this. Love working on this. Love visiting with Trina. We'll have to find something else to work on so we can carry on our Zooms when I'm finished. I think I'm a little bit further ahead than Trina. And then the last thing I have to show you is my Serenity. This was my birthday start for this year. This is on 36 count fibre on a whim, brown sugar, I think. And this is Serenity by The Primitive Hair. I am kind of going whatever with this. I'm not filling in the cup. I'm just doing the outline and then doing the doodads. This is the start of the tea. I need to figure out whether I need to stitch up to the, because at the minute I'm literally just doing the furthest stitch on the outside of the cup because the cup's full coverage and I'm not stitching full coverage. Or whether I can just get away with like one line, this line here, bring it round, and then one line for the outside of the handle and one line for the inside of the handle. I hope it doesn't look too weird because I don't want to try and figure out how to do that. But yeah, this is a complete colour conversion, I'm not doing full coverage. It's just a go with what you feel. Load of colours just from my stash that I've just pulled. Yeah, that's about it. I didn't really get any progress on this until last night when I was watching Bendy Stitchy on Twitch and then on her live Flosstube. I got a little bit done. Still a little bit to go. Probably I might put this away. I don't know. That's what I've got to decide. It's what I actually focus on. I feel like I need to focus. I don't know what to do. So that was all my stitching. I did have some haul. So Krista West of Avlia Folk Embroidery had a sale. She might still have it on. 20% off everything in her shop with the code that's on her website. Go check it out. But there is a pattern that I've had on my wish list for a good long while now. It's Venetian coins. I was going to get the kit, but one, the shipping was expensive, and two, I think I could just maybe use an even weave. She charts it on this grounds cloth, which is, I don't really know what it is, if it's a specific thing. I think I'll just use even weave. I think it'll be fine. But what I like about these is you can just like add on a part of the pattern and make it as big as you want, because they're these little kind of doilies or little like basket covers. So I just want to make little I wanted to do kind of like a not a table runner, but something to go on the sideboard. I don't know how big I'll need it to be. But I like the colours on this one. And then while I was there, I picked up another one is Anatolian Odalisque. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right at all. But it's another one of these patterns where you could do it in any colour. You could add on a bit. You could take off a bit. Just repeats. It's really wonderful. So I got those two, just the PDF downloads, with 20% off, which was really good. And then some other bits. Oh, let me pause and grab them and bring them up here so I don't trip. I need to find a better way of doing this because this is not working. I look on Vinted quite a lot. I sell a lot on Vinted, like Anna's old clothes, just so they don't go into landfill. And I buy a lot of Anna's clothes on there, so they're not going into landfill. She grows out of them so quickly. But what I also look on there for is cross-stitch stuff. A lot of people put stuff up. I haven't bought anything apart from this, but it's nice just to look, see what's kind of about. So I brought this blue and white cross stitch. So there are lots of cross stitch designs inspired by the willow pattern, like on crockery. I don't know if I'll stitch anything from it, but they have this blue and white book, and then they have a red and white book as well. And I just like the aesthetic of it. And I think I bought it for £3 plus shipping. So there's just like really nice motifs and stuff. Like if you need a little border, or it's just nice to look at as well. But it's like, I don't know when the copyright is, but they're all hand drawn in here. It doesn't even say a date, I don't think. Copyright 2001. So yeah, but it's lovely. It was in really good condition. So I'm on the lookout for the red and white cross stitch book. If you have it, let me know. I've seen it come up a few times. I don't think it's rare. It's just, it was nice to have. It's gonna go on my little shelf when I sort out all my books, because at the minute they're just in a folder. Some other things that I picked up. So I was in Dunelm because we needed little organisation pots for Anna's new wardrobe. And while I was there, I saw these trays. Now, they're pretty I wouldn't use it to carry tea, although I think that's what they want you to do with it. But I thought it's great for finishing. You know, doing like a flat finish on there. Somehow you can put, it's like lipped, so you could add some little doodads or whatever and hang it on the wall. So I got this one. I didn't check actual sizes, but my thought for this one was my Gather Here from Liz Matthews, because that's on like a band of linen. I'm gonna have to figure out how to finish it, but it might fit in there somehow. But that was one, this like this grey colour. Maybe this one will fit. Again, I don't know how big I need it, but this has got that green colour. It's more red green than the blue green of the stitching of that one, but that's an overly type one. I just like the colour, so I'll probably use it for something. And then this massive one, which is this more bluey green colour, bluey greeny teal, that I don't know if will work for Serbian proverb, because it's got those fact, that might be a bit big. Yeah, it'll be a bit big for that one. But the colours would go. Like, that would be nice. Instead of framing it, like, do it some kind of wrap around some foam cord, do a trim, stick it on the back of the tray, much like I did my cotton, wool, linen, silk. If you've been here before and seen those, you can stick a magnet and a piece of metal, and then you can take it off and you can, you know, it's not permanent. But yeah, I thought those were good. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't carry like a teapot. But I thought something different other than a frame. Just something to put away. And then last for the haul, it's my Cottage Garden Threads advent calendar. It came. I'm so excited. It's the same box as we had last year, but I have been assured it is different colours from last year. I need to get a new box. So the box that we had last year is obviously full of the stuff that I got last year, plus Hearts for Pam and other ones that I've collected. Ooh. This is how they all come. I won't take them all out, but I'll need to consolidate these into a bigger box with my other ones. So that'll be Flossmas, which I think kind of takes me into plans. Yeah, I don't think I'll film again until December. I think I'll do Flossmas. I will kind of vlog style film every day and then put a week together and put a week up at a time. I won't do like daily posts, I think I've decided. So I'll be opening my Cottage Garden advent calendar and my Stitchy box advent calendar, and maybe showing you what I stitched on that day. Maybe some other things, if I'm doing anything interesting, which I'm probably not, but I do like Vlogmas. Flossmas? Yeah. You know. Daily little present opening. I enjoy that. If you don't, and you don't want to watch, I totally understand, because it is different kind of style of filming and watching, but I'm excited for that. And then come the end of December, I will do a whip parade and a finish parade. So yeah, I think that's all to say. I probably won't do another regular Flosstube before the new year. I can't believe it's nearly 2025. That's scary. But other plans, so Plants and Petra Coral will have the final drop on Friday. I hope to get that finished on Friday. Might be the first one to finish. I don't think I was the first one to finish Beams and Fungi. I think I was first to finish one of the drops at some point, but I don't think it was the I don't think it was like finish the whole thing. Stitch for Pride, November. I haven't done my learning. I haven't done my stitching. I don't like doing my stitching before my learning. So maybe I'll use a lunch break this week to do that. Moon phase, I have to do my 15th of November. So what's that? That'll be Friday as well. So maybe I'll do Plants and Petra Coral in the morning, moon phase on the evening. Though Anna will be at home because my dad is on holiday this week. So we'll see if I manage to do that. Me and Trina have a Zoom booked in for Serbian Proverb. I think Megan's going to organise a Zoom for the Lord of the Rings one. I don't stitch, but I like to crash that one. And yeah, I think think that's it. I think just plan to be kind to myself. And just focus on finding what works for me in this new space, so that I can do the stitching that I want to do. I think that is the focus that I need right now. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you're well. I will see you whenever. But take care, be kind, and free Palestine. Love you. Bye.